wrote a book about it, which brought the whole thing together. And I think what she did was like an early social science study. In other words, take somebody like Freud or somebody like Marx, and what they do is to look at a social system and they analyze it in terms of a new insight. Marx in terms of economic status, Freud in terms of the unconscious, and so forth. Wollstonecraft looked at her society and she analyzed it in terms of its male-female relationships. That had never been done before. And once that is done, one can never get away from it entirely. In other words, it's there in the intellectual conscious or pre-conscious of that society, and sooner or later it's going to come out. And so it did. She was so much ahead of her time. Economic circumstances were not such that there could be much responsiveness to what she had said. And the reaction to the French Revolution, of course, had set in, so that any kind of change was considered dangerous. But once that period of political reaction was over, when you get into the late 1820s and 30s, the movement begins. And it goes straight on through until, really, I guess, World War I and until the present. I don't think that Mary Wollstonecraft was particularly concerned about what was happening to other young women when she first got started as an independent person. I think she was doing what she had to do. I don't think when she rescued her sister Eliza from her brutal husband that she was thinking, oh, I'm doing this for old wives. She was reacting to an immediate situation. Once she got out of that situation and looked back on it, she began to generalize about it and say, well, there are other women, and what makes this happen, and maybe there should be freer divorce. A lot of things like that. I don't think she went into that situation feeling that. She was a very spontaneous person. Intellectual matters came for her almost after personal reaction. Then she would put the two things together, and that kind of fusion is what gave her her force. Mary Wollstonecraft was rather a greedy person in the way that most modern people are greedy. She wanted intellectual achievement. She wanted a home. She wanted love. She wanted work. She saw no reason why these things should be mutually exclusive, and indeed they're not. She put it together. It was hard, but she did it. Harder for her, I think, than it is for us. But it's the kind of thing that modern women are now, I think, deciding that they want. Don't have to give up one thing to get the other. Can do it both.